Welcome to the Midnight Lounge, hosted by your main man, Uncle Freezy. Sit back and relax, unwind, enjoy the midnight conversation. Usually we'll be joined by any and many of my friends who come in and help set the vibe, all for you. Again, welcome to the Midnight Lounge. Let's start the show. Yo, what's good, party people? How y'all doing tonight? Or early this morning? It's your main man, Uncle Freezy, in the spot, opening up the Midnight Lounge so that we could talk about breaking into the music business. I think it's going to be an in-depth, thorough, robust conversation. Got my main man DSJ backstage and True Music backstage. But y'all know how it is when it comes to these superstars, man. You know, they can't just walk up on stage. You know, you gotta cue the intro. Yeah. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, put them drinks down and get on your feet. Put your hands together for the R&B sensation, DSJ. Ladies and gentlemen, DSJ. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, so we have DSJ and True Music in the building. For True, it's his first time being here rocking with us. So y'all show some love for True. And for those of y'all watching this on Instagram, on IG, I'm sorry you can't watch it live. So I'm gonna upload it to Instagram so you guys can see this conversation. Not to put our guys on the spot or anything like that, but conversations like this one, man, we got to share this with the public and everybody. Gentlemen, what's good?
Hey, what's good, Unc? How you feeling?
Man,
peace. How you living, man?
Hey, man, good, man. I got some lottery tickets up here. I'm trying to make everybody rich.
I'm wishing you luck.
Yeah, man.
I wish you to have $933 million.
At least,
right? At least. And listen, when I get that $933 million, I'm not going all Kanye. I'll be the same person, bro. The same person, bro. It's called morals. It's just called integrity.
I always say, I don't care how much money I ever get, I'm still gonna remain frugal.
Right, just like DSJ favorite singer Genuine, be the same OG.
There you go.
Yeah, I love Genuine, just like I love Slim from 112.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to have them on stage performing live.
And some Keisha Cole, with some Keisha Cole, bro, that'd be fantastic, bro.
Yeah, that concert's gonna seat one.
Yeah. So the question, the topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about is breaking into the music business and why it's so hard to not just establish yourself and get a foothold, right? But to grow in the music business and then get better in the music business. At the same time, and notice I said music business, right? But then at the same time, get better and better as an artist. the artistry, get better and better at the artistry of everything. I want to ask you. I have a bunch of questions I wanted to ask you guys about individually and collectively. Just for those for those that are talented that want to get into the business, but at the same time, those that may not have a talent for music or have a singing talent, whether it's playing an instrument or singing or producing or artist development or something like that. Maybe they just have a knack for business, right? So I want to talk to you guys about that in the individual portions of that. Just maybe if we can break that down individually. But what I want to start out with first is, how do you recognize if you have talent?
That's a
Like,
good
what's the difference
question.
between talent and passion?
I think there's a big difference between talent and passion. You know, I feel like somebody with talent at first may not necessarily know they're talented. You know what I mean? But somebody with passion wants to develop a talent if they're not talented. You know what I mean? Like, you can have a passion for something you just can't do at all. You know what I mean? But have a talent to do something that you're not necessarily interested in.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I think that when establishing talent, it's not self discovery.
Right.
Right. So for me, and I'll speak specifically from my perspective, right? Me at 4 years old didn't know that I could sing. I just knew that I loved songs on the radio, and so I would sing along with it, and just vibe. Just okay, this is what's going on. This is what I'm about. You know, what I'm saying I'm listening to. I'm enjoying, so I'm singing to it. Um, it wasn't until honestly my kindergarten graduation when I discovered that I had talent as far as, you know what I'm saying, the ability to sing.
Right.
Because truth of the matter was I just wasn't pursuing it. I wasn't looking for it. It was just something to do. Michael Jackson came on the radio. Beat It was a nice song. And who wasn't trying to emulate Mike, you know? For me, Caravan of Love was one of my favorite songs as a kid. So, you know, that's all I really wanted to sing was just, you know, specific parts of it. So I really didn't even discover that I had talent on my own. Someone had to point that out to me. And once that part got discovered, then it was cultivating, because then all of a sudden the element of creativity came into play.
Right.
And I pursued that as a passion.
Exactly. And that's
I mean,
kind of where I was going to go with it as well. It's like you kind of don't know you have talent until somebody else lets you know you have talent.
yeah, because as far as like even like creating something, writing something, um, creative writing being one of the elementary um classes, I looked forward to it. Like I couldn't wait to get to that portion of school and develop stories and stuff like that. I think that kind of helped to cultivate the songwriting aspect of it now, um, because that was something I just look forward to. So I think in terms of the passion aspect of it, I think passion is a pursuit of the talent. I think talent is just more discovery. So
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Yes, sir.
so, so in terms of that, so okay, for me, like okay, for the songwriting aspect of it, it's one thing, but from you as a producer, right? Um, how did you hone in on that ability um to create beats and produce?
Um, I think I kind of approach it the same way one would approach songwriting. You know what I mean? Like for me, like certain sounds and when they're put together a certain way make you feel a certain way, just like, you know, when certain things that are said make you feel a certain way. And that's sort of like my main thing. Like I try to talk to the audience through their ears, you know what I mean? Like through how they feel, how I can make them feel, how I can convey the feeling that I'm feeling, you know?
Yeah. So let me ask this: who's your Do you have any influences in terms of production?
Yeah. I probably say Prince is probably like one of my biggest influences.
Okay, that's from a okay. So like, what was there any song in particular that that
um,
that drew you to him?
yes. The first time I heard Prince, I heard, of course, everybody knows When Doves Cry, right? But what really like helped, what really made me understand just how much of a genius he was musically was on his album The Emancipation, and there was a song on there called Salvation, and just musically what he did on that song was just absolutely amazing to me. Just like his use of instruments, his use of space in the song, you know, the words that he used, just everything that he did. And then to find out that he produced that entire album by himself with no band or anything like that just made it that much more awesome.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Well, let me first take time to shout out Allah Wise. What's going on, Allah? How you feeling, brother? Hope everything is good with you today. Rocking right now with my producer, my brother, um, fellow artist, True Music, and we're just kind of chopping it up, vibing, kind of giving the artist profile, and understanding more about what I'm saying, him as an individual. You know what I mean? Um, and for me, I'll be honest. Prince. I think there's a level of appreciation that happens. Um, and you might not understand it right away, right? Um, Prince being an eccentric artist, known more for the flamboyant style. Um, were there any other influences in terms of production or even in just song creation?
Um, I like a lot of influences for me came from jazz actually too. Um, just something away, something about the way those sounds get put together. Like one of my favorite songs is Duke Ellington and Miles Davis's uh, "In a Sentimental Mood," and I believe it was Miles Davis on that album, on that song, but it
John
was
Coltrane.
John Coltrane, excuse me. But yeah, like that song, like just every bit of it, you know what I mean? Just the way they put the sounds, just sonically, is what did it for me, you know. And I guess those are the kind of things I try to accomplish in my own productions, just kind of like sonically speak, you know.
What's the biggest challenge when it comes down to that? Like in terms of all that noise in your head. What's one of the biggest challenges in terms of the production aspect?
I think for me, it's probably like choosing a direction because, you know, sometimes like I'll go into a session where I kind of think I know where I want to go that in that particular session, and then when I hear a certain sound or a beat hit a certain way, it'll just change the trajectory completely. You know, so it's sort of like one of those things there, like kind of like not letting the music take you too much because you still got to stay on task.
Nah, I feel that, and I think it's also. I think that also translates in terms of the mood and the direction of the song as a whole. So
Right.
even when you give me a beat, it's like, okay, well, what's the topic of discussion here, based off of the sound, based off of the timbre, the feeling of it all, um, and I think sometimes it's hard to explain from from artist to consumer as
Right.
far as that goes, because it's like, well, how does something speak to you that doesn't have language? You know what I mean? And it's like the hardest thing to explain at times, or at least I feel like it is the hardest thing to explain at times. Like, this is the direction that I'm going in based off of the feeling that this thing is done, thing that is said to me through this
Right.
instrumental.
Right. And for me, like, to be honest, like it's always been easier for me where like if I'm working with an artist and they're giving me a direction. So like if a guy comes in and says, hey, I want to hear something like this, or then it's easy for me to put something together. But like on those days where I'm just having a creative day, but I know I need to get some music done, yeah, it can be kind of challenging trying to stay on task. And because sometimes as a producer you might end up with like 10 undone beats because you've had 10 different feelings in that little session there, you know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, is it hard to establish that part of the game as far as the beat making when you want to be an individual, but you see that the lane might be going in a different direction?
Mm, I think when I was younger, maybe, but now you know, I think musically, I've kind of found like my lane, and when I'm in my lane, like I don't consider anybody else's lane. I feel like everybody kind of has their own path in anything that they do in life, period, right? So like music is the same way, and I always wish people good luck on their own personal journeys, but I can't let their journeys influence mine.
No, I get that. I get that, and I feel like at the end of the day, um, signature sound sometimes is necessary. Um, just to have um that establishment with the core audience. So, you know what I'm saying, as far as like you put a track together, they know you for this individual feeling, this is where I go to for, let's say, like I want to take a ride, and you know what I'm saying, I guarantee you to put this on, and I'm definitely gonna vibe to this while taking this drive to wherever I'm trying to get to, right? So in terms of you with songwriting, right? Is there any topic that's ever like, you know what, I'm staying away from that. That's a little bit too much.
No, no, I feel like everything is fair game in music. It's just creative how creative you can be in conveying whatever message or you know concept that you're trying to, that you're putting down, but I feel like, man, if you can make, breaking down how you make toast in the morning into a dope track, I want to hear it.
Would you ever use um your own personal life into your music, or do you feel like that might be pushing the envelope a little bit, or maybe that people won't understand?
Um, yeah, I definitely put my own personal life into a lot of my music, and I also feel like that's what music should be. That's what an artist should do. It's because at the end of the day, for me at least, when I do music, I feel like it's presenting an extension of myself to the people, and I feel like that's what makes it like that much more cool when people respond to it positively, because it's like, you get a piece of me and you love it as much as I do.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I think it's the most challenging thing to convey those messages in terms of putting your personal life in song and trying to stay objective. You know what I mean? As opposed to, what I'm saying, feeling like, you know, defensive if it's not received or anything like that. Because again, yeah, you want people to understand and get to know you on that level, um, without necessarily compromising so much of yourself. But at the same time, it's like, how else are you gonna get to know me? And I think there's a balance that's kind of hard to decipher with that as well. Because I mean, as us as fathers, you know, for the most part, I'm sure, what I'm saying, at the end of the day, we do all of this for our family, for our kids, um, future children, our children's children, stuff like that, trying to establish and break through to this business and monetize off of our talents. But the other side of it too is how much of it do you give, and how much of it do you keep for yourself?
Yeah, I feel like that's an interesting concept as well too, because there is a degree of balance that you have to have. But I also feel like, you know, music, in order to stay like to keep like an artist's perspective when you're doing music, which is what I feel like a lot of people in the music business are lacking, is to remember that anything that you do should be done for you first. Like I do my music because, and I do it the way I do it. I make the kinds of music that I make because I like the way it sounds first. Like, I could kind of care less what anybody else thinks, but at the same time, I share it because I feel like somebody else could relate to it, you know, and it could be, sometimes, maybe I could be giving a little too much of myself, but I feel like that's the whole point of it all, is to, you know, bear yourself and, give yourself to the music. And if you're sharing it with people, then that's just kind of what comes with it.
Yeah, man. Do you have a favorite track?
Of my own,
Yeah.
um, if I said I had a favorite, if I had to pick one, it would probably be unconditional.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why that one? Out of, I mean, and for everybody in, listening, True Music is streaming his music on all platforms currently. You can you could definitely stream and download and purchase his stuff on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, any place that you can purchase music. And so please, I implore you guys, what I'm saying, anybody listening, everybody watching, to definitely, what I'm saying, give it a listen. I guarantee you'll be a fan of it just as much as I am.
I appreciate that, brother. Seriously.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
But with that in mind, do you also feel like there's a level of conformity that you might face in terms of breaking in?
I feel like there's always that challenge, but I feel like, you only conform as much as you agree to. And like I said before, like I kind of prefer to stay in my lane, like on my path, and I don't really consider too much of what other things are going on, or what may be considered required musically and stuff like that. Like I can't consider those things, otherwise I feel like I'd limit myself as an artist.
Okay, okay. Is there any level of frustration when you listen to today's music, based off
Yes,
of what you're talking about?
yes, because it's all the opposite of what we just spoke of. You know what I mean? It's almost like, everybody kind of follows a formula nowadays, and it's just it's kind of like set up for short-term success. You know what I mean? Like, and people are okay with that, and I find that sad. Because I kind of think, long term. I play the long game in pretty much everything I do, and I feel like in order to have longevity in this music, in the music business, you have to be willing to be out, to jump outside the box and try new things and experiment.
No, I feel that. I feel that. And what about, so is there any new artists that you feel like you can relate to, even in this climate where everything has been um almost repetitive in terms of like radio, media and stuff like that? Is there any artist that you heard of as of late that you like, you know what, I get with him. I think that he's a vibe. I think that his music is dope.
Um, there's not too many, man. I think one that stands out to me is probably La Russell. Like, I feel like his music is dope, and his business acumen is just exemplary. Just the way he's presenting himself and staying independent while doing it.
Yeah. What about the artist that's, well, to a degree, I guess he's controversial. D1.
Now, I can't say I've ever really listened to any of his music before, but I do like his ideals and the things that I've heard him speak on. I feel like he makes a good point.
Yeah. And see, sometimes I think it's hard because um for what he's trying to accomplish requires a system. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But it's like also you're downing the system that you're trying to be a part of.
right, right.
So how much of that, and I think even with that too, right? Because you're not gonna love everything about the music business. What,
That's
even as you're trying to break in.
that's the truth. And I feel like, like with him, like I said, although like some of the ideals, some of the things that he has that he's speaking on are like, they're good things to think about, right? I feel like in in the climate that he's in, and the fact that, like you said, he's sort of like in this sort of mechanism with everybody else, and he wants to kind of be that cog that wants to go the other direction. It's sort of like, it's sort of pointless unless he moves himself out of it. You know, that's kind of like why I kind of move the way I move in the direction that I'm taking. You know, breaking in myself is, you know, I want to be able to control my musical reality. I don't want to have to conform to the things that are going on around me or even be affected by it.
What's something that triggers you um in terms of music, period? And it doesn't have to be
Mhm.
um today's artist or anything like that, but just in general, like, what's one thing that you be like, you know what, this grinds my gears?
Mhm. I think just the lack of creativity, the lack of bravery to try something new, try a different sound. Like I feel like people are more concerned about how much money they can make than the music itself. Like I'm a firm believer that as long as you stay true to what you are out here to do, everything else is going to come forward for you. It'll work itself out. But people kind of forgo creativity for a dollar.
Right. Now, I have to ask this because not only are you an artist, producer, singer, songwriter, MC, rapper, you're also the head of your own imprint, which is True Music Entertainment. Um, what do you look for in an artist?
I look for uniqueness, creativity, um, all those aspects that that I see are lacking in the music business now. Like, when I meet a new artist, if they can make me feel like I'm breathing in some fresh air listening to their music, then they're gonna stand out to me.
Do you look for any bit of yourself in that artist, or do you feel like it doesn't have to be me? It just has to be authentic.
I feel like it doesn't have to be me. It just has to be authentic. It has to be something that feels true. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason why I even chose the name I have. A buddy of mine gave me this name a long time ago because he always used to say my music was the truth. But I also I understand that, like, that's the only way you can be creative is if you're true to what you do. You're true to it. Like you gotta stay on point. And new artists, and if a new artist can show that they are willing to go against the grain and really, like, experiment and couple that with talent, you got a great artist.
What are fears that you have in this business?
Hmm. I think just making good business decisions, in regards to like my brand and the people connected to my brand and myself. I want to. My biggest fear is to, you know, fail the people around me, the people that are coming up with me.
Okay. So failure itself isn't the issue. It's the people that's affected by the failure.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because not everybody has the same understanding of failure. I feel like, you know what I mean. So I just, I understand that it needs to be felt sometimes, but at the same time, just as the person I am, I want to see my family eat. You know what I mean, and I want to see them be successful.
Have you ever tried to cultivate and break an artist on your own? Um, in terms of that.
No, because I've never really wanted to do that. Like that's never really been a passion of mine. I think for me, I've always wanted to sort of like teach and kind of just present a way to do it, and then let that person you know mold it to what's comfortable for them. That's sort of like what the premise of True Music Entertainment is. It's not so much as I don't want to be a record label. I'm not a record label. I'm just an educator, somebody that can kind of show you how to use the tools, and what you build with it is up to you.
Okay. Okay. And I think at the end of the day, it's very commendable when you sitting here, um, and the objective isn't necessarily the first primary objective isn't money, right?
Mm,
Um, because at the end of the day, I think people lose sight of quality over quantity.
I agree.
And in terms of just creating timeless music as opposed to music that's with the times. People can't get lost in the shuffle. Um and again, you might skip over quality work while you're sitting here going through the numbers.
Right. Absolutely. And and that's like the biggest dilemma in the music business now, I feel like, is this numbers game. Everybody wants to have the most streams. Everybody wants to you know be number one on the charts, but what about just putting out good quality music? you know like me personally, like I could care less if I ever became a millionaire, so long as I can put gas in my car, pay my bills, and do nice things for my babies through doing what I love. That's all I need. And I feel like if more people would adopt those mentalities, there would be longer lasting artists and success.
Well, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I think that that's always the goal, you know what I'm saying, for all artists starting out. Um, I just wonder at what point does it become a shift in that process? Like, you know what, I want to do something else. Um, I want to be able to take this and maybe instead of giving so much of myself, maybe I'll give 35% of me
Mm-mm.
and gives the other 65 industry desires.
Mm, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that just comes with the strength of mind, of the person going into it. You know, I feel like sometimes, people, go out there and get into this business with genuine intentions, and you know, e- people get easily swayed, by shiny things. You know what I mean, and money. It's just all about how much your convictions mean to you at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Where did you establish these principles? Is this a family oriented that cultivated through the music, or is this something that is separate from lessons learned from from family members, from your elders and stuff like that? Is this something that you've established in your own way of thinking in terms of the music business? I want to adapt this level of morality going forward. Um, has any of that been influenced by the elder, by your elders, by those patriarchs and matriarchs of your family?
Yes, I can definitely say, a lot of those uh those different morals and things like that definitely come from like my mother especially. But I also a big majority of it comes from experience. Like I didn't always have this mentality. I was that one, that was just trying to get rich at first. You know what I'm saying? But you know, over the years, and just having different experiences with different people, you know, kind of taught me a lot, and it kind of taught me about what was most important. So I feel like, yeah, definitely experience really was the catalyst for this sort of thinking.
Unfortunately, I'm still in fuck bitches get money from Junior Mafia's mentality. I just so,
Hey,
so,
that always works too, right?
something about those four words combined together just makes the most sense in the world.
Look at the music business now.
I mean, honestly, right?
That's what
And,
it is. Yeah.
I think the other part of it too is how much of the fame is so addicting.
And
Just
I
looking
never
at how
understood why.
that's the other part of it too. Why is that the desire? Like at the end of the day, of course you want to be recognized, but there's a difference between recognition and fame,
Right.
and I wonder why is it so much more important to be famous than recognized?
I think because that's sort of like the narrative that was given, It's like nowadays, like you hear little kids talking about wanting to get into the music business, and the first thing they say is they want to be famous. Like the word famous and rich can be used interchangeably, you know. It is kind of sad.
Yeah, because I think that some people don't realize that those two don't always coincide together.
More often than not, they don't.
And prime examples of that is even like the biggest artists that were attached to LaFace at one point, um TLC
Hmm.
and Tony Braxton, and Interscope when they had Hammer. Like
Right.
these artists were world renowned. We're talking about world tour two times, three times over. Highest selling artists, highest selling debuts, highest selling singles and albums and all that stuff, just to end up in bankruptcy court.
Yep. That's because they, like you said, like there's just this disconnect. I feel like, and then it's also, just the way things are portrayed, like especially for the young people. Nowadays you ain't made it until you got a diamond chain, a iced out chain around your neck. Don't matter if you got, savings in the bank or even a house, but as long as you iced out and can go out and be iced out and fly, you're done. You can retire, according to these youngsters nowadays.
But what do you attribute to that aspect of fame without money?
Definitely. I feel like the record execs kind of play a big part in that, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that kind of like endorse whatever it is that we're exposed to, whether it's on the radio, music videos, things like that, right? And they're choosing to put this kind of thing out, So if you got all the gold in your mouth and all of the diamonds there too, then this is what success looks like. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you have to do for it. It doesn't matter, what I'm saying, what you're not doing for it, as long as you have it.
Is that a reason that you've made yourself empowered in terms of trying to learn the business itself?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I never want to walk into a room and not know the type of beast I'm dealing with, you know? Like nobody want to get ambushed. And I feel like, the only way to do that is you can't conquer anything if you don't know it. So you got to know it. You got to research. You got to know what you're dealing with.
I think that's kind of the hardest part about the business is, one, considering the fact that it's almost like an elite society, a secret society um of talent, right? So there's only so much that you should know.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how we feel about music, the impact that it has on our lives and all that stuff, the aspect that we're trying to break into, which is the music business, the standard practice is always going to be of business. Um, is it hard to separate at times being an artist and a businessman?
It is sort of hard, but then at the same time, I think it also has to do with, once again, like your strength of mind. Like, that's going back to the difference between success and fame. As an artist, you're still selling a brand. You're selling yourself. So you have to handle that with a strong business mind as well. So I feel like, on one hand, it could be hard if you don't understand what you're dealing with, but it should be easy because it kind of goes hand in hand.
Right.
You would think, right? But
You
it
would
seems
I
think.
like
would, I would, I would just, I would disagree with that, and to a certain extent. But here's why:
uh,
I always felt like the artist should just be the damn artist, right? And the creator, the person that inspires and all that stuff should just be that, and then hire somebody separate that is bonded. I think that's one of the mistakes artists make in the industry is not getting a person bonded, right?
right,
Like, say if you get a business manager, make sure that person is bonded up to $1 million, right?
right,
And then and right, and so that way, if they try to walk off with your bread, then you are still insured as the artist up to $1 million,
absolutely,
right? And then two, the other thing too is when it comes to the business part of it, I think the artist should hire a neutral third party with a reputation for success in the business.
hmm
Hire that person, not one of your homeboys, not you know what I'm saying? Yo, I know such and such up the street, man. They be doing shows, man. I'm gonna go holler at them and see such and such. I'm like, nah, man. Like, say for instance, I'll give an example. Say if DSJ and I are in a thing together. Oh, you know what? I'll give a better example. Say if there is Uncle Freezy, there is a True Music, there's a DSJ, and say a fourth person. I'm gonna say somebody off the poster back here, either Ray or Quick, one of them, be the
hmm
fourth member, right? We'll just say Ray, right? Say Ray, or Iceman, somebody on the poster is the fourth person, right?
Right.
Uncle Freezy is not a singer or a producer or none of that, right? Right. But say that True and DSJ and the other person, whoever it is that we add to Iceman or Trey or Ray or Quick or whoever, if they're artists, right? What I would say is, listen, man, we're a crew, but what I want to do is take the business part of it, right? And I'll do that because I'm good at that, the organization part. Y'all three are the artists. Y'all produce the music, right? Y'all do that. Now we're all mutually invested. We're all stakeholders because we all have something to gain or lose if we're not successful. Right?
Right.
But what I'm gonna do is y'all doing the music. I'm not gonna go in here and be like, no, that note right there, no, this right here, this ain't the way. I'm not doing any of that, right? Just like as the artist, you're not gonna come to the business side and be like, no, I get an ill vibe from him. I'm not really feeling that person. What I'm gonna do right then, I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna be like, nah, man, just get in the booth and make the music. And it's gonna sound mad disrespectful up front. Right?
Right.
But the end game is the artist solely focusing on the artistry.
Right.
Right. And the business people solely focusing on the business part. Right. And what happens is on the business side, you want a bonded business manager. You want because here's the thing. The other thing too that I want to make sure people know. There's a difference between a lawyer and an attorney.
I agree.
People think they're the same. They're not. Right?
Yes,
An attorney has passed the bar. Right? So when you hear people say they're a lawyer, anybody can be your own lawyer.
Right.
Right? Anybody can be a lawyer. Right? Have you passed the bar?
That's
right. These are the type of small business things that you want to make sure that you know in the business, right?
Absolutely.
In the business part, you want to say, like for instance, I personally think DSJ is an exceptional talent, right? I tell him that all the time, and even though it sounds soft as hell when I tell him, I still tell him anyway, right? I still tell him anyway. I encourage him that way because I believe in him, right? But when it comes to the music, you never hear me say, I never say to him, bro, you could have did such and such better. Nah, you could have did. Nah, that ain't me.
Right. You stay in your lane.
Yeah. And so for the success, because the thing about the greater good is if everybody does their job at 100%, then no one person will be overwhelmed by trying to do all the work for multiple people. Because if you have an organization of 4 and 3 are in a group not doing nothing, and one person is carrying the weight for 3 other people, then it's stressing out that person.
Absolutely. And then your team is going to fall apart. But that's why I completely agree with you. It's all about the team, though. You know what I mean? And the people that you have around you. Because unfortunately, like we were saying earlier, everybody is about $1 and the quickest one they can get. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes that trust that you need to have in people in order to move up hard to cultivate, and I think that's why, like right now, with DSJ and the other guys on our team, it kind of it makes it easier because, like you said, everybody has a job, but most people don't think like that. And I feel like that's where, that's what kind of got the music business now in the state it's in.
Right.
The other thing too,
I told DSJ about, man, and I don't know if he shared, and I say this a lot on this channel. My belief is starting out in the music business should be more organic than a lot of people try. Like for instance, I always felt like if you're an artist, you need a home base, right?
Absolutely.
Like when you have new music that you want to perform, right? You have new music or you have new artists or you have a new sound that you want to try. Like maybe you want to try to reinvent neo soul. Maybe you want to try to reinvent New Jack Swing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to reinvent the R&B and hip hop collab. You should have a home base that you can go to in front of a crowd, right? And play that music. Your own home base, not somewhere where you can go somebody else's joint. I'm talking about your own home base
Right,
where
right.
you can go and play this music and see what the crowd likes and dislikes, right? And
I get,
not just one night. I'm talking about say if you have a song like say you have a song No Sleep Till Brooklyn, right? You have a set, right? You play that set over and over at this venue and see what the reception is to it, right? The thing is get you a place, a home base, spend about $200,000 on it, right? Where you can have it be a business that supports itself,
mhm.
right? Have a business that supports itself. Now, $200,000 is a lot of money, and I'm not saying take your life savings into it. What I'm saying is create an entity, get a grant from the government, and use it solely for that purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, use it solely for that person. Write that grant. I list everything. You know what I'm saying? Because people write grants and get rewarded grant money all the time, right? But
Yes, they do.
the thing about businesses and things though, um our people suffer a lot from a lack of education, right? Because things might seem too hard or something like that. But when you're the artist, you just go out there and sing and let the business people write the grant and come up with the money and all that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're the producer, the singer, the rapper, the beat maker, whoever, you just focus on that. But the team, the other side of the team, is focused on that. Investors and the
Right.
federal government could be an investor. And say you write a grant for $200,000 and they only give you $75,000. You know what that means, DSJ? That
What's
means you
that?
got $75,000 more money than you had when you first started.
Yes, sir.
Right? Then you can so say you can't buy the building outright, but then with $75,000 you can finance it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You can you put $30,000 down, right? Use $20,000 for improvements inside the building. That's 50. Use that other $25,000 for the equipment and everything that you'll need to make that business successful. Now, will you have a mortgage? Yes.
Yep.
Right? You'll have a mortgage, right? But you know what? You also have a place of business because the thing is, and I was telling DSJ this, I saw this with my own eyes. My homeboy had a restaurant, right? A building sat for like 6 years.
Right.
My homeboy went in there, he turned it into a restaurant, right? The restaurant started booming. His lease came up. You know what the dude did with the lease? He did a non-renew, right?
No.
And the owner of the building put his restaurant in there.
Wow. Yeah, he gave that man a business.
He gave it to him. And you know
Yeah.
what? And now my man got a business cross town. He had been struggling for like 4 or 5 years. Now his restaurant's still finally picking back up, right?
Right.
But the thing about it is if he would have owned his business from jump, he would have never struggled.
That's right.
He would have.
That's right.
He struggled to get it started. Then it was booming. Then they non-renewed his lease. The dude that owned the building took over that business, put his little janky restaurant in there, right?
Yeah.
And then my man had to start all over in another spot.
Yeah. And I'm sure the landlord reaped the benefits of the people he started bringing to that location too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That building sat for like 5-6 years, empty, nobody in it.
That's tough.
Yeah, the building. I think it went to tax. It almost went to tax sale one time. We was out there. We was like that man. That man came up with the tax money for it at the last minute to save it. Right? We use it, man. I was gonna buy that thing, boy. Y'all know, yeah, y'all know me, man. I be trying to. I'm not a vulture, but I do like to take advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If the opportunity is there, if it's fair, like I ain't trying to take advantage of nobody. But if it's an opportunity, man, listen, man, you gotta jump on it.
Definitely, man.
But yeah, so DSJ, you see what I'm saying? Like you have the business side be separate, be the art side be separate. It's all under one umbrella, right? Like say it's some type of production entity. Say, for the lack of I can't think of an example, but say we call it Warner Brothers. Say we call it Warner Brothers, right? And you have artists underneath the Warner Brothers umbrella, right? And so what you do is you find a Prince, right? You find you other artists under the Warner Brothers umbrella, and what happens is you have the Warner Brothers business side and then the Warner Brother artists, and then you build it like that. And it don't take to, in my mind, every time I do the valuation for it, it always looks like it doesn't take a lot of money to start. It always looks like you can start with $500 and just grow it, like double that $500 over 6 months.
Absolutely.
And then double that $1,000 over 6 months.
Everybody
and then double
involved.
That to the over time.
Everybody involved would just have to have that same mentality, though. You know what I mean? Like, have to understand that, look, we're going to be broke for a while. You know what I mean? Until we establish ourselves.
Right.
You know? Yeah, definitely.
Right. And then the thing is if you were broke before this, how can you complain about being broke during this?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you put a seed in the ground, it's not going to grow overnight.
That's right. But see, you know, it's just that fast money mentality, man. Like, that's why, like, when a person finds a team like what you're describing, you got to hold on to them and you got to grow with them, you know?
Right. Because think about the thing I was telling, the thing I talk about a lot is not young artists. I'm not talking about young people. I'm talking about young artists to the game.
Right.
They spend a lot of their personal money, like a lot of their personal wealth, in growing the entity where they shouldn't. Right. If you're operating as a business, then you should become a business, in my mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I know some of us can't help it, right? Like, I spend personal money on microphones and lights and all of that stuff, right? But the thing is if I had known better in the beginning, I would have did better in the beginning. But once you know better, you got to do better.
Absolutely. All the time.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. It's just, you know, like I was saying earlier, though, it's all about, you know, just the research, man, like, and really putting something tangible down for people to work with, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to know why it's hard for artists to not want to learn the business and get in the business side of it? It's because morals and principles don't exist in business the way it should, right? Now, both parties can be profitable, right? Artist and the business can be profitable, earn together 50-50 splits. Unfortunately, executives and businessmen feel like, no, I should get the lion's share. You might be the product, but the product doesn't exist without my platform. On the other side of it is, your platform doesn't exist without my product.
Right.
And nobody wants to give into, nobody sits there and says, well, let's just split it 50-50 and keep doing good business, because as long as we keep doing good business, we'll earn together. And whatever I do in terms of bringing the product, the platform will continue to grow and rise. And the more money that we bring in, the more money that we'll make in the end anyway. So, again, because that's not the compass, the moral compass that's used, um, it's hard to not want to learn, because you don't want to end up getting just 3 cents on the dollar for everything that's done. You know what I mean? You don't want to end up one of the highest selling artists, and all you have to show for it is $4,000. You gotta do all the shows. You literally have to do every venue to make up for all the money that's portrayed in that degree.
Can I disagree with you a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's because there are no Al Haymans in the game. Y'all know who Al Heyman is?
Yeah, promoter.
Yeah, businessman. That man studied economics at Harvard. He don't look like it, right? He looked like just another. I almost said that word, bro.
Right. Right.
I almost said that word. Almost. He looked like just another black man, right? That man studied economics at Harvard, right? And he took that Harvard education, brought it back to the hood, so to speak. And now you can't book any major venue in this country just about without Al Heyman say so. No tour. I don't care if you Taylor Swift. I don't care if you Rihanna. If you want to go on to, you just about have to talk to Al Heyman. Right? And so what it is in our societies, we don't have Al Heymans like that, right? See, the thing about me, the thing that I understand is this: artists are compassionate, right? Artists, and it's a part of their DNA. Like whether they're the producer or the singers or background singers or instrument play, they're compassionate, man. And when they see another young artist like themselves, like struggling to get in the game and all that stuff, they kind of look out for them and all of that. Al Heyman know that the pen is mightier than the sword, right? That's how I am, right? Like I am. I know that the pen is mightier than the sword,
Right.
right? So what I'm gonna say to those guys, like, oh, you want to book DSJ, man, for um $10,000 a night during Super Bowl weekend in Atlanta, or say for instance, the All-Star game next month is in Indiana, right? You want to
Right.
book DSJ for $25,000 a night for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday after party, right? But DSJ got his people with him, and DSJ want them to get paid too, right? So you're gonna pay them also, right? You're gonna pay him. Now you're gonna pay DSJ his 25. He gonna make that. But you also gotta pay his people or he ain't coming. Right. So now basically in theory, the group, DSJ group, is gonna get $200,000 for that weekend. DSJ gonna get his $100,000 and everybody else is gonna split that $100,000 in whatever way they see fit. Right. But what Uncle Freezy gonna do is get that on paper in front of a notary public, right? Get that on paper, guaranteed. That way, if you act up, DSJ still getting paid. And if something happens where you don't come through with that paper, that bread, I'm gonna sue the fuck out you. Right? Not just for the money, that money, but the distress that you caused. So you can either pay DSJ and his group that $200,000, or I'm taking you to court and you're gonna pay us $400,000.
Yes, sir.
Right? We gonna get that bread. Right? And if you get around and if you start saying, man, they took us to court, man, they made us pay all this stuff, damn right. And then with that, you know what that does too? That sends a message to everybody else that mess with us, that really that want us. They know if they mess around with the paper, I'm gonna mess around with the paper.
There you go. Set the
You know
tone.
what I'm saying? And it's these things you can't, like, we can't do. That's why the artists will come around. Yo, I seen your set, bro. We gotta work. We gotta link up, man. We gotta work together. And blah blah blah. And I'm like, and I'll be like, DSJ, let me handle this, bro. I'm gonna talk to, hey, where your management at? Where your representative at? They're like, what representative? I don't have no representative. I'm like, okay, we can't mess with you then. And DSJ gonna be, but yo, man, I've been wanting to rock with him forever. Hey, DSJ, man, I'm sorry, bro. We just can't do it. I know you want to rock with them, but no, we not rocking with them. Because if they not backed by paper, they not gonna back your paper, bro.
Real. That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing you want to do is get promised $500 and then get to the show and then somebody counting up, all they got is like $387, and they saying, well, you can drink at the bar for free. No,
Right.
no, you gonna pay this $500 and you gonna pay it tonight, or we gonna be in court Monday morning. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
No, and no, we not doing none of that, man. Come down and we gonna pay you cash that night. No, we doing wire transfer so it can be tracked. Right? Because we not gonna get to court and you can be like, yo, I counted out, yo, I'm telling you, I counted out, such and such $20. But no. We doing wire transfer. You sending the money to this account where we can have an account for what was sent. Because we're not going to court over he say, she say stuff. And I know the artists are going to be like, man, you messing up the bag, man. No, I'm not messing up the bag. I'm making sure the bag is super straight. Right? I'm making sure the bag is super straight.
Yeah.
And so what that does is, an artist, now the artist has this sense of security because they are secure.
Right. That's right.
Now they go in and do it. Now when we make sure the bag is right all the time, now when it comes to studio time, the artist doesn't have to take their personal paycheck from their job and buy studio hours. Right? Now when we eating lunch at the studio, that don't come out of your pocket. That's a business expense. Right? All these things that the artist pays for, the gas to go to a show, that's a business expense. Now we taking track of all these business expenses at the end of the year. The business part going to do the business part, right? And throughout the year, the artist can solely focus on being the artist.
That's right. Now I can definitely dig that, because, like I said, having that like what you just described, like, you would be a dope manager the way you just broke that down, because that's the type of protection and security an artist needs. Unfortunately, it's hard to find those people. So, like, you got to be, as an artist, you got to be all those things for yourself if you're not choosing to go the label route and let them make decisions for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's how a lot of these guys get raped. You know what I mean? Like, they go in there, I just want to do this music, I don't care about nothing else, and don't know what the hell they signing, don't know, you know what I mean? And they just get taken advantage of. Yeah.
Right. Yo, it's like you know how you start a new job. You know how they send you to HR and you got to fill out all this paperwork before you start.
Right.
But an artist do everything on handshake deals and hope everything go right.
And hope. Yep. That's all it is hopes. And then when you pull out some paperwork, especially when you're trying to, just break into the music business on a level where, you'll be comfortable financially, right? People don't can't even see it. They don't understand it. Like they don't agree with it. Nobody, oh, I don't even know what that is. I'm not signing that. Okay, well, get you a lawyer, my brother, because this is what you're
Right.
signing up for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or get you an attorney. We got to have attorneys, not
Yeah, an
lawyers.
attorney, excuse me.
Yeah, we
Yes,
got to
sir.
have attorneys.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, we got
You
to
know,
have yeah, man, we got to have
get
you
you
know what I'm
some
saying?
legal
But
counsel.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man, that's where I think the where people's struggles are, right? Cuz I think we all hear the stories about how an artist gets signed and gets like a $2 million advance. You know what that $2 million advance, that is
that's right.
for the building of a corporation, right? You have to take that $2 million and help build the business, because the people that put up that $2 million, it's about 20 different people putting up $100,000. Probably they probably
Hmm.
live somewhere in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, who will never even understand who the artist is, but they're invested in the money making aspect of it, the
That's right.
business part. They put up 2 million because they are gonna make 10 million,
That's right. It's a
right?
high interest loan.
Right, right. And so the artist thinks that once that 2 million is gone, that they are gonna, nah, that's not how business work, right? That $2 million is not paying you for making it. It's not a bonus. Nobody
Right.
cares that you can sing your ass off. No singer in the world is worth a $2 million bonus before they work.
That's
I don't
right.
care. No disrespect. Listen. If I had $2 million, if I had $2 million right now, I would not give that money to Timberland right now. Nah, right? I'm
For real.
sorry. I understand what his resume is, but what we're
But
talking about is the future.
that's right. And he ain't gonna get it back.
Right,
He ain't gonna be able to. He ain't gonna get it back to you. He ain't gonna flip it.
right, right.
You know.
My job as the investor is to give you the tools that you need to be successful.
That's
So
right.
when I give you that $2 million, it's so that you have money for the studio. It's so that the whole crew can eat, right? It's for wardrobe. It's for gas. It's for hotels. It's for if I give you $2 million, the first thing you should do as an artist is establish a home base. That $500,000 building I told you
Yep.
that you can build a hotel eventually across the parking lot,
Yep.
right? All of that stuff. You take $500,000 off that and build that, right? Now you can bring in other, bro. When you do that, now you can bring in other artists,
That's right.
right? Yeah,
And
you can
charge
bring
them
in,
studio time, and start making passive income and while you're
right, right.
hmm
DSJ, you
yeah.
mighty quiet, bro. Did I overstep my bounds again? I think I must have
Not at
I
all.
must have overstepped my bounds.
I
Hey,
no,
I'll leave the conversation, bro. I'll move out the way.
no. Ah.
No,
I was rocking. I was actually listening. I was getting listen. The beautiful thing about this is when you actually get a chance to sit down and allow other people to speak, you actually learn things, right? Um, and that's for me again. I love that aspect of learning. You know, what I'm saying you sit back and allow those that know to speak.
right,
Because how else am I going to get this knowledge? How else am I going to apply it to where I be successful in that regard?
right, right.
And people lose sight of that. So no, for me, I actually love sometimes just sitting back and I'll ask the questions when I need to ask the questions. Um, I'll answer what I do know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think that just learning and learning different facets of how to apply those monies can come into play, you know, because the other aspect of it too is there are those out there that are just coming to take advantage of you.
That's why
Their
you have.
best,
That's why you have to have. That's why you have to have a entity,
absolutely.
right? That's why you have to have like a like for instance, you have to have a production company represent you. That way, when people come after you, they won't come after DSJ, and then next thing you know, DSJ got a lien against his house because somebody slipped and fell at a concert he put on, and they suing him, right? You have to have a business thing, protection, right? That way, it's insured. All these things get handled by the business side, so the artist can merely go and do the things that artists do best, and that's artistry.
And how else am I going to accumulate that knowledge if I don't be quiet and let you and those that are in that position that know speak?
Right, right,
So,
bro. Bro. I'm telling you, man. The thing. I think the thing is the reason why artists fail is because artists think there's only one way to the top. There's always multiple ways. There's always numerous paths to a destination. It's just, do you want to take the less traveled path, or do you want to take the path from A to B, even though you know A to B will get you in a 360 deal that'll wind up having you in $800,000 in debt, but
That's
you have a
right.
name.
and that right there, I think, is part of the problem because, again, to quote the great American poet Pusha T, you'd rather be more famous than rich.
Right.
Yeah, and then people, people are afraid to skin their knees up a little bit. You know what I mean? And I feel like that right there is necessary. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fall. You gotta skin them elbows. You gotta skin them knees. You gotta learn those lessons so that when you get in those positions that you've been striving to get to for all these years, you know how to hold on to it and how to navigate those problems, whatever problems that you may come into.
Right. Right. Or or you can align yourself with professional knee skinners.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Professional elbow skinners, right?
Yes, sir.
And let them do what comes natural to them, and the artist can do what comes natural to them.
That's the
Right.
truth.
As long as they got the scars to prove it.
Yep. 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 Bro, that's what it is. See, the thing about professional knee skinners and elbow skinners is they are so used to protecting people. Like it's like in their DNA, right? That's who they are. Like you see them, they the ones that fight the bullies. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? They the ones that would drag you to court and all of that. So those are the ones that you know what I'm saying. You want to keep y'all. Yo,
Yeah.
y'all ever heard the story of Johnny Gill and the dude that went to jail for Johnny Gill? Remember that Johnny Gill first manager early on.
Nah, I never heard that story.
He wound up going. He wound up getting life in prison. Right. He wound up getting. I forget his name. Right. But he believed in Johnny Gill so much that he protected Johnny, that Johnny Gill didn't know none of this other stuff that he was doing. Right. All Johnny Gill knew is that if a problem came up at 5:30, that problem was over with at 6 o'clock. That's all it is.
Yeah,
All Johnny Gill knew is that everybody in the industry treated him exceptionally nice
that's right.
because he had somebody behind the scenes that was protecting him. Right. That's what a lot of artists miss out on. Like you don't have to do it brutally like Johnny Gill's manager did. But oh shoot, I got hold on. I'll be back, y'all.
Okay.
And see, this is why I enjoy it sometimes sitting back and listening because Freezy just got like he's got so much knowledge in terms of business that it makes it easier to apply that even in the form of the music business, right? Because it makes all the sense in the world, everything that he said.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
again, like I said, the problem, and this is where, again, like I said, the problem lies where the business doesn't want to take care of the artist. Because if you had more people like Freezy, then the business would probably thrive a little bit more. And these type of discussions where the artist needs to learn as opposed to maybe wants to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like it becomes a
Definitely.
difference when it's like, okay, you know what? I actually want to be in this meeting so
Right.
that way I can learn all of these avenues. Today's artist is like, no, I need to be here because I don't know what you're doing with my money. You know what I'm saying? The morals and
Right.
principles are completely different. And if you had more people that had that same mentality that Freezy had, then maybe, just maybe, not only would the business survive, but it would thrive.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like I would love to have a team of Uncle Freezies helping me move forward in this in this business, you know.
For
That's
sure. Hey,
absolutely,
salute
man.
on DS. What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man? Welcome to the show. We're here talking about how much we hate Tom Thibodeau's rotations, and oh, sorry, wrong platform. Now we vibing and everything, man. Again, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up with super producer, my producer, um, fellow artist, singer songwriter, MC, True Music,
Peace,
and
dudes. Yeah,
even now kind of vibing in the studio in the Continental. Um, and so again, just it's extremely hard to align yourself with people because, like I said, sometimes when it comes down to it, yeah, it sounds good, right? Some people are just really good. Some people are good businessmen, and some people are really good hustlers.
and it's yeah. Sometimes it's definitely hard to tell the difference, you know.
What up, man?
Yo, my guy King Ribby, what's good, bro?
Yeah, what up,
How you feeling, man?
chillin', man. What's the word?
Vibing, man. I don't even think well, this is the first time uh True's been on here, man. King Ribby. This is my producer, my fellow artist, singer, songwriter, and MC, True Music.
Peace,
What's
Um
bro.
good, True?
Peace. How you living, man?
Ribby
Salute.
Ribby's an MC himself, man. So he be
Word
spitting
up.
bars and stuff like that.
That's dope. Yeah, man. Definitely good to meet you, brother.
Yeah, salute. What's good?
Yeah, we
How
was
you?
talking about how we gonna trade Josh Hart.
Yo, yo. Ray was just talking about that. Oh my god. Ray
Nah, man,
tired
but
of it.
hey, let me. Okay, so you're a fellow artist, right? Let me
Yeah.
ask you, what's the most challenging aspect of artistry for you in terms of making the music? Like, what's the hardest thing for you as a creator?
To be honest, the most challenging part. All right, it's, it's the beat. To be honest,
Okay,
because it's like no one be really having no really like good beats. So like I have to. I don't really. I could make beats, but they don't sound like how industry beats should sound. So like I think say that.
well, I mean, I'll be honest. I think, like, even with that aspect, right? Um, like industry beat. Like I think that's, and I'm trying to find the most politest way to say it, right? I think it's too repetitive, and I think sometimes I think that's why I feel like I enjoy like a Griselda track, right?
Okay.
Because like listening to like the Benny the Butchers and the what I'm saying, the Conways and West Side Guns. It ain't always about monopolizing the sound. Like if you notice how some of these producers are just as famous or more famous than the artists that they're producing for.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's a
mean?
fact.
And I think it's crazy because although, what I'm saying, you need both to survive. Like if I'm in the forefront as an artist, why is the drummer getting all this love and adulation? Why is the guy playing the keyboard, you know what I'm saying? Why is he getting more autograph requests than I do as an artist?
Okay.
And
Everybody
so
got to eat
sometimes,
though.
yeah, and so sometimes, what I'm saying, I look at it like I like the idea of having something different. Um and always, what I'm saying, as long as it's authentic and authentically you. Like I enjoy that aspect more at times than having a standard beat that everybody else has kind of either a been subjected to or just another version of another track that was famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you saying.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It just, it's just hard, man. Like I ain't gonna front. It's
I
hard
just
to
feel like
find a great beat.
the hip hop game though, man, it's so watered down though, man. Like it's really is just a game. You know what I mean? Like it's funny, you know? And it's like, you gotta get like from a producer standpoint, right? Like I look at it, I listen to so much of the music, and I was just telling DSJ the other day, we were at a showcase and there were some guys performing, and for a good 2 hours I felt like we were listening to the same damn song the whole night.
The
You know what
whole
I
night,
mean?
bro.
You know?
Right.
And it's just so boring to me. I if I don't have my phone in the car with me, I'm riding in silence, bro. I don't listen to the radio. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you get to that point where it just feels like a long version of a song, whether it's a trap joint, whether it's drill. It just seems like that's the wave, and so because that's the wave, then everybody should be on that wave. And it's like,
Right.
well,
Nah.
what happened to individuality? Like maybe, what I'm saying, maybe I like conscious at this point. Maybe I'm feeling more conscious. Maybe I'm feeling more backpacky. And if it's backpackers going on, well, maybe I'm feeling more gangster.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I
I think I
I
got a
would be
song
with
for
you on
you.
it. Okay.
That's crazy.
Now go ahead, bro.
And I said I think I got a song for DSJ.
Is it an established artist or is it you?
No, no, it's not established artist.
Okay. Okay.
It's a beat that I think he'll like and he'll sing on. It's like a singing beat.
Okay. What type of singing beat? Is it a hip hop singing beat or is it an R and
No,
B singing
it's
beat?
like an R&B singing beat. It got what's her name again? That passed away. Aaliyah vocals
Right.
on it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I bet you he could sing on it. I seen him sing off 16 pairs of panties the other day, and he was acting like he ain't do nothing.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man. Oh man,
Yeah.
it was actually 14, but
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one girl was 2X.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. I got you. You know what? I think the thing with hip hop is the reason why we feel like it's watered down is because I think the regional hip hop is not as prevalent as it once was. Like now, I honestly can't tell the difference between a Big Sean and a Tiger song. And I know those artists are old, right? But what I'm saying is at one time there used to be a Louisiana sound, and then there was a Detroit sound.
Right.
And
Right.
right now I can't tell the difference. Like there once was a time when there was a Bronx sound, a Brooklyn sound, a Queensbridge sound, a Staten Island sound, a Long Island sound, a Jersey sound, but now there's only a New York sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Understand.
So it sounds like all of it
Everything
is,
in one.
yeah.
It's like this one huge amalgamation of crappy music. You know what I mean? And it's like, every now and again we'll get like one of those gems, like in a Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole, something like that. But for the most part, man, it's just like saturated in ignorance. You know what I mean?
I think, but I my honest opinion is those two artists are dope, right? But I think they contributed wholly to the watered down sound by accident, right? When you have North Carolina rappers sounding like New York rappers, you accidentally mix things up, right? I like J. Cole and
Yeah.
everybody that associate with J. Cole, right? But the North Carolina sound used to be something like North Carolina raise up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And then
I disagree on that one.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because Petey Pablo, yeah, he's from North Carolina, but he was more like a gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you notice, like right now, like that was the first song and only song probably that you could think of from Petey Pablo. You know what I'm
Now he
saying?
had
Like
a
that was,
couple. He had a couple though. The
you know,
I forget the other, but he wasn't a
see,
stat like your point. Yeah.
forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, like J. Cole, right? Like in his defense, he's always rapped like that. Like I went to school with him, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And he's always had that flow. You
Right.
know, I don't like in North Carolina, especially like we're in Fayetteville, right? Like there's such a diverse like, demographic here,
Yeah. It's a
because we got
hub. Yeah,
because we
because of
got like
military and
the
some other stuff
military and everything. Yeah. So
and
it's sort of like,
college and
yeah, you're not gonna get like a signature sound here, you know what I mean?
right. Right.
Yeah, but like, yeah, but now even like in Louisiana, like there used to be a sound, but now like that Louisiana sound is more a Baton Rouge sound. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took long enough. It took long enough, but then they were got currency and some others that
Yeah.
saying slowly turned saying
Right.
turn the Louisiana sound into something more international sounding.
No,
But
I agree.
The LA sound was a lot different than see when you listen to LA rappers now, when you listen to Vince Staples
Yeah.
or Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, a lot of newer rappers from the area. A Nipsey at one point, you know what I'm saying? They sounded more international
Mhm.
than local. And I think the watering down of hip hop comes from a lack of the celebration of a local sound.
Right.
That's what I'm getting at. Not that one is not that it's bad because these dudes now, this watered down hip hop are doing the best numbers hip hop has ever seen.
Facts.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's the truth.
But old school hip hop heads just don't like it because it's watered down. Right. It's
Right.
just it's just one of them. How do you go from um and I troll King Ribby with this a lot. Like, how do you go from the Notorious B.I.G. to designer?
Right. I agree. But then you know what though, like, going back to those numbers, right? You got to think too, like nowadays you got streaming, you got all these different ways you can
Exactly.
listen to music, right? And you only need a few seconds to consider it a stream. You know
Right.
what I mean? So now all you got to do is somebody could flip through TikTok a few times and you on the charts. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Before you know it, you
Back in
viral.
the days, it
You
wasn't
before
like
you know
that.
it, you viral. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
know.
but but what I would say to that though, and King Ribby, I think you probably missed it because y'all were talking about Tom Thibodeau rotations, but they was over there talking about RJ Barrett. So what I would say is like for me, like so I used to promote parties back in the day, right? And I'll be at my desk at work. People think I did that full time. I didn't do that. You can't be a party promoter and have that be your full time job, bro. You just
No, I
can't.
did it. I did it full time.
I didn't do it full time down here, bro. Right? I couldn't do it full time down here because it's too volatile. It was just too volatile down here, right? But the point that I'm getting at is legit. People would come to my job and wait by my desk till I get back from break, and they'd just be standing there, and I'd be like, "Hey, can I help you?" They like, "Hey man, I'm looking for Uncle Freezy," and I'm at work. I'm thinking that he gonna ask me for my government. I'm at my job, bro. I
Wow.
mean, customer service. I'm putting my headset on, about to answer the phone. I work for the bank. Thank you for calling such and such bank. This is blah blah blah. All of that, right? Dude, like, yo, I'm gonna be at the party, and I want you to put me and my boys on, right? And then they give me a CD. Listen to this, and then when the party come, I want your DJ to play this, right? And I'll be like, hey man, if you don't get the fuck up from around my
Extortion.
desk, before I punch you in your damn
Extortion.
throat. You know what I'm
Extortion.
saying? You ain't getting ready to, I don't care how dope you think you are or how thorough you think you is where you from, bro, but you ain't about to make me do nothing, right?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm
Had to
saying?
pay to
I'm
play.
sorry. You know what I'm saying? Ribby, you know what I'm talking about, bro. You put on parties before, bro. Like when you have live
Nah.
performances and people see the live performance,
Yeah.
they think that they should just be up there because it's them. Bro,
Yeah.
if you not dope, you not getting on, period.
Period. Point
You
blank.
because we have because as a person that do parties, bro, you got a reputation. People come to your parties because of your reputation, bro. Ribby, am I lying? Like Ribby, you know how dudes try to do parties and all they parties be whack, and then they start hating on you. They're like, yo, man, I
Mhm.
don't know. Uncle Freezy must be paying them dudes to come up there. Nah, man. Cause we just don't let whack people come up here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But people like that guy that approached you is used to them daggone showcases. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
let's
well,
let's he used to paying to get on stage. You know.
yeah.
That's bad.
And I'm like, and bro, y'all know me, man. If you whack, I'm gonna tell you, right? If you whack,
Look,
I got homeboys whose sons used to rap, and they used to beg me to get on, bro. Like, come on, man, you doing us dirty. Nah, bro, they ain't it, bro. They trash. And they like, yo, you talk about my son. Yo, you be at our house eating. Bro, this ain't about that, bro. He trash. Tell that
that's
man he
just
trash so he can get better.
that's just being 100.
Yeah.
I feel like that's showing love for real right there.
Yeah, bro. DSJ, they stopped inviting me to stuff, bro, for a long time, bro.
I have a saying that coincides with that, which is I've never found the politest way to tell somebody that they're stupid.
Bro, you got to tell them, bro.
So
Not in
sometimes
terms of stupid. You could probably phrase it better, but
Yeah,
in terms of
exactly.
people without talent, though, people without talent, you got to tell them, bro. You
no,
got to, hey, bro.
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to be as blunt as that, as
I
opposed
mean,
to trying to find the most politest way to say, well, maybe he should try another lane. Try another lane. Maybe he should just stop rapping
I
if
mean,
he's
I
not good
know,
at
I
it.
know, I know. If me and my homies is out and I see my man want to go holler at a chick, I'm gonna let him know if he got a booger in his nose before he walk over there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
That's a
Right.
fact.
Right. That's one of those things that we have to do as people in DSA. That's also one of the reasons why I'm a supporter of paperwork and all of that stuff, bro. Not like nah, man. We not you not gonna walk up here. We ain't gonna do no handshake deals. No, none of that. You ain't gonna line
Mhm.
nobody pockets and all of that stuff. But I paid your man $100. Hey, that's between you and that man. That's my stage though,
That's right.
right? Y'all got to figure that out, right? But nah, I'm not getting ready to be like my cousin. My cousin sings in church, but she's not really a good singer, right? In church, you can make a joyful noise, right? At the party, you got to be dope, right?
All the time.
Yeah, because people at church, people make donations. At the party, people are paying. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
we can't mess the gravy train up because somebody wants to be now. Now that's the main stage, right? But like I was telling DSJ, like if we just need somebody to hone their craft, somebody just want to hone their craft during dinner time hours, like from 4:30 to about 9 o'clock. You know, you bringing in local artists and they trying to
Mhm.
learn how to perform on stage and they trying to do okay. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna take their money, but I'm not gonna pay them either. Right? The pay is get up here, you using our platform to hone your craft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pay you and you learning, right? Yeah, I'm giving you a place to do it at, right? And King Ribby and DSJ know that. Like DSJ, like when people come on Blorence Tears, right? People come on Blorence Tears, they're like, "Yo, I've been on Blorence Tears for like a year. I still don't have no intro." So you got to hone your craft. You got to get better slowly, along and along. You got to get better. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's that to it, man. I ain't mean to go on a tangent, y'all. I'm sorry.
Nah, but I mean, again, it makes sense. And I think that's the biggest catalyst. If it makes sense, then how can you dispute it?
Let me ask you this: How can you? Do you guys know how you can formulate a plan for success to establish an entity in order to get all the things that a artist desires? Do you guys have a plan for that? Something that would work? Like what would you need from what would you need in order to build a team in order for that to happen in y'all's opinion?
Money, a lot of money.
Okay.
I'd just say the right people. The right
Yeah,
people around you.
I think the right team will always
Mhm.
shine no matter what. So I mean, an established rapport. Um, I think that's kind of the first thing I'm looking at is okay, how you might believe in me, but if you believe in me, how much expertise do you have to get me from what you say is one point to the next one? Because people
That-
come out here and promise
That's
you all kind of
easy.
things.
That's easy. You know what I would do just for what you said? I would establish you a home base on I-95, the corridor, right? Somewhere between Florence and Fayetteville. Say Dillon,
Mhm.
right? That way I can meet you halfway on the weekends, right? That way when you perform, you ain't got like a 2-hour drive home, right? And me either. I'd buy I the thing I would do for D if I was doing it for DSJ, I get him a spot in if it's just on the weekends, then I would say, okay, yeah, let's do it in Fayetteville. Right? Let's do it in Fayetteville. But if it's gonna get to a point where everybody is starting to want to leave their job to do this, right? Everybody is getting paid a reasonable amount of money where you would consider leaving your job, whatever the dollar amount is, like for a lot of us, we have retirement linked up with our job. So it's not just about salary, it's about the benefits that come along with it too.
That's what I was gonna talk about too.
Right. So if it's one of those things where I can double my salary and all of that stuff, if you're talking about like I live down south, y'all, so I don't make a ton of money, right? So but for me, it would take me probably about I'd have to make about $200,000 a year in order for me to do it because I work for myself. I don't want to get into that stuff, but I would have to, in order for me to do it full time, I'd have to at least double my salary so that I can invest the difference in stuff
Absolutely.
that my job does for me, right? For me to walk away, it'll take something like that, right? But what I'm getting at though is if it's one of those things where we're talking about operating this thing 7 days a week, then I'd consider, what I'm saying, doing it in Fayetteville, right? And then like a entity where, and I told DSJ this before, but a place that's going to be open 24/7, that's going to make money 24 hours a day, right? Not from the music, right? Not just from music, right? But from the things that go along with. Like in the mornings, it'll probably be like a breakfast buffet type place, right? Where you can, sell breakfast on the low, and that part pays the light bill. And then you have like a lunch thing, a lunch buffet, right? That pays certain stuff, and then a dinner thing, and then at night, the entertainment aspect on one side closed off, maybe 75, 80 people max in this one side of the building. The rest of the building is closed off, right? And
There's a few places like that here in Fayetteville.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So doing something like that, but here's the thing. Everybody would have a stake in it, right? Like if I were to do it, I would offer ownership stake in it, but I would at least try to keep 50% of it. Right? Because I don't want to one day come in and everybody sold their stake to this one person, and now that one person that owns that stake is trying to turn it into a strip club.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to walk into a situation like that. But what I would say is that I would offer like DSJ as an artist and others ownership stake in it. So even when they're not performing, they would still make money when that building is open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That way they can perform their music, build their following, and then all of a sudden in the Fayetteville area, everybody knows True and Quick and DSJ for their spot. And then now people are looking to come into that spot and perform in that spot as opposed to going to other places. Other talented people are looking to, and then you can also, like I was telling DSJ a few weeks ago, you can also bring in the older R&B artists that you like, and maybe pay them like $5,000. Like, bring in like a Lisa Fisher, bring in a Melissa Morgan, a Freddie Jackson, maybe bring in some of the Virginia R&B people, maybe bring in Playa or groups like that and have them perform at that spot. And before you know it, it's the most jumping spot in that area because you providing accessibility and quality. And I think what we fall down at is that we offer one or the other. We offer accessibility, but the security ain't right. It looked like a dangerous, shady spot. The front door smell like weed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People like, and no offense to the weed smokers, but y'all know what I'm saying. Everybody it's different strokes for different folks, basically.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Right.
No, that's the truth. Because I mean, you whatever business you run in, it's got to be run professionally. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. That would be my thing. Like, get this thing, get the artist a home base, right? And when I say the artist, I mean everybody. right? Everybody have like a home base where this is their spot to showcase, and then it's something that instills pride, right? Like for instance, we don't have to go on the radio. This I was telling DSJ the other thing too. You don't have to beg people on the radio to put you on now, because now that you have your own spot, you can broadcast live to the internet from your spot.
That's right.
You know, yo, what's the name? Yo, come down to King Ribby's spot. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna call it Future. Yo, come down to Futures. You know what I'm saying? DSJ performing. DSJ, you got I got the mic dead in DSJ face. DSJ, what time you going on stage? DSJ, yeah, I'm gonna try to get on stage about 11:30, but y'all know I'll be running late, so it might be like 12:15. Y'all come down here and get these hot wings though. These hot wings is busting. You know what I'm saying? These little things like
Word up.
yeah, the little thing. That's what I would do, DSJ. And then that way you won't have to depend on the record label giving you $1 million advance. You be making, and I know this don't sound like a lot of money, right? But once it get up and running, you could probably make $16,000-$17,000 a month. And you got ownership in it. And so if you get tired of it, you can always sell your stake to somebody else and walk away. Or if we have a falling out, like say DSJ want to turn it into a strip club with lemon pepper wings and all that stuff, and I'll be like, nah, he can always be like, you know what? Then buy me out, right? Give me $89,000, and I'll sign the paperwork tomorrow.
Yeah, because I gotta get this boom 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 popping.
Yeah, raise boom boom room, bro. Raise boom boom room. You know, next day we go to the bank and we like, you know, we want to buy DSJ out. They're gonna ask, like, do you want to take out a loan to buy him out? Do you want to take money out of your futures account? Do you want to take money out of do you want to close out an IRA to do it? And I'm like, nope. I just want to take out money out of savings and just pay that man and let him walk. And then that way, you know, it's not like I'm mortgaging, taking out a mortgage for his stake. I want to just do it clean. And if I don't have the 89, I'll be like, DSA, I don't have it, bro. We just gotta talk this thing out some kind, but I don't have it, right? You could talk to somebody else about buying that part, but right now I don't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about it. I'll just build a boom boom room right beside Futures.
Yeah. we just do it like that then. Boom, there it is. And but you know what that does? But you know what that does for Futures? It helps us thrive. Business. It helps us thrive because now when you do that, now you're bringing more customers to the area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the reason why you always see a Walmart and a Food Lion in the same vicinity.
We could branch off eventually.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And then DSJ strip club is going to say attention, touching is allowed.
Right.
Yeah, bring all the weed. No, don't worry about pat downs.
Yeah. Hey, Ribby, why they don't do that in New York, bro?
What?
Work together. People work together.
I don't know, man. Everybody's selfish.
Probably the reason they don't do it in Philly.
Everybody want their own. Everybody want to be the boss.
There you go. Too many cheats.
Like that's my honest opinion. Nobody want to be no middleman. Like,
yeah,
which is
that's the issue here too. Is like nobody wants to play their position. Everybody feel like they got to be, you know.
Top. Do they really? But do they know what their position is though?
Even if you give it to them, if it's not, if they don't feel like it's a significant position, right, then they're gonna resent you for it.
Do they go to school for it? Like, do they have proof that they can do it though?
Cool.
Yeah, no, I'm asking like
no, seriously, like it's limited, you know what I mean? Like people like, you know, because like once somebody becomes a professional, especially here, right? and I'm not like, going in on Fayetteville, but I guess I kind of am. If you get proficient in something to where you can make good money doing it, you're more than likely going to leave. You know what I mean? To go get your money from here. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of times you run into situations where you meet people that may have like a talent for something and you try to cultivate it and see if you can get them to help use it in whatever your endeavor is, right? But like as soon as somebody feels needed, then they want more. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And they don't know how to build, you know what I'm saying? They just want to be able to reap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The irony to that is when you go to the doctor, your doctor is board certified, right? When
Right.
you go to school, your teacher is board certified, right? When you go to church, even when you go to church, the pastor has been certified or something by somebody or some group.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to music, people just want to get in where they fit in.
That's it.
And I don't understand why we would. I don't think there's a accountability aspect of it, and that's probably why the foundation for a lot of those things that are being built is shaky.
Yeah.
To to me, I think it's one of those things, man, where we gotta kind of vet each other and make sure
Absolutely.
people are proven.
Absolutely. Because it's funny because I think me and DSJ were just having this conversation a few weeks ago about, you don't see these types of things go on in a country music, you know what I mean, or rock and roll, you know
Right.
what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like they come together, they play their positions, they get their people on. But then it's like, hip hop, R&B is called the game, and all people do is play in it. But everybody else, it's business. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So I feel like, even like going into it, the tone set is sort of like setting us up for failure as far as mentality goes.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
because I mean, at the end of the day, you're not even looking at it as a genre of credibility. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And maybe part of that is because of the skill set that's required, right? So any other genre requires you to know music in terms of learning how to play an instrument or something like that. And with like rap, hip hop, um wordplay is more necessary than anything. Your mouth is your instrument. Your words is your
Mhm.
ability. And I wonder how much of that plays a factor in how people looked at hip hop as if, you know what I'm saying, like it's a fad as opposed to it's a musical it's a musical venue, it's a musical um genre as well. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And of course, I think that might also play a part of to why the executives never caught on until you really started to see it make a profit. And
Right.
we're talking about a significant profit to where it even overtook the more popular genres of um country, western, rock, and all their genres of rock, metal, soft rock, pop, all that stuff. Like I think once you saw that hip hop was bankable, that's when they started taking it seriously and saying, okay, well maybe there's something there.
Right. Right. But is that not what you do in all investments? Let it prove itself first, and then you invest in it.
Some of them do, and I think some of them is a plan. But again, I think that um, I think hip hop wasn't looked at seriously from the very beginning, as opposed to where like country,
Right.
um, rock and roll. Again, there was a skill set required that was visible. If I playing an instrument is a visible, like you had, that's dedication, years of practice, and someone taught you how to play this piano. Somebody taught you how to play the drums. Somebody taught you how to play this guitar. I can visibly see your based off of your skill set how much time and dedication you put into this. With rap, give me a mic and let me transform these words into a song.
Right.
And how can you take that seriously when it feels like, well, anybody could do that.
Right.
Hmm.
Anybody could write a. At one point, we called it poems.
Right. Right.
So I think that's where, again, with hip hop, that's why it took such a long time to be respected.
I think I think I may have asked the question wrong. I'm gonna ask it at a base level. What does a artist want at the end of the day? Like what type of infrastructure can you put in place to give the artists what they want at the end of the day? Say you have a 10-year run, what is it that you want at the end of those 10 years? And what infrastructure do you put in place for the artist to get that?
Hmm.
That's a question I think goes to every individual. Like and I don't think every artist can answer that question
The same way.
the same way. I think the most base thing would probably be just financial security,
Right.
Right.
because
Because
at the
me
end of the
as an
day,
artist,
you're always in business. The only reason to be in business is to make money.
That's the business part of it. I'm talking about what the artists want though.
That and sometimes that is honestly um where two worlds collide and have the same agenda.
I agree. Because I mean, like, speaking for myself, I just want to create as an artist. I just want to be a creator. And I want to be able to create without having to worry about whether or not I can put some gas in my car or pay my bills. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
But it's really that simple for me, though. Like, I don't need to be a millionaire or, super famous, quote unquote, like what we spoke about earlier. I just want to be able to live comfortably doing what I love as an
Right.
artist, you know.
Right. What I would suggest to y'all is this as artists, King Ribby, you too, right? If at the end of this 10-year run, right, if you want to be financially secure, you have to think about what it takes for you to be financially secure. Right. Are you saying financially secure where you could pay off your mama house, right? Or pay off your grown kids' house, right? Like say you got 4 kids, right? And you want to make sure that all their houses are paid off,
Right.
right? You want to make sure your house paid off. That way, when you get to be somebody my age and you think about grandbabies and stuff, you ain't want to think about your grandbabies having to move every 3 years, right? So your goal is to pay off your son house, right? Also, say if at the end of this run you just want to retire from life, right? So you want to retire from life, but you say you got about 30 more years and you right and say you want to have 30 years of making $100,000, right? So that means outside of what you spending while you on your way to the top is that 300 that $100,000 a year for the next 30 years plan. You have to set that money to the side, right? And so you have to either fund it up front or do some type of means where you can fund that even when you retire, say through publishing, or say with that restaurant DSJ got, like, you know what I'm saying, the thing that is, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna make him $100,000 a year every year that it's open, right? You got to think about that in the long term. That way, at the end of your 10-year run, when you feel like you can step away, that you want to step away, then you can just step away and be free, right? But if that plan is incomplete, then you can't step away, right? Yeah,
No, I feel that.
it's one of those things, man, where that's what I'm asking, because financial security is security as long as the finances are there. But once those finances ain't there, you're not secure no more.
Right. But then that's where like financial education comes into play. You
Right.
know.
Right. That's where you start thinking, when I go to the jewelry store, do I really buy this $120,000 necklace?
Right.
Or do I buy this fake necklace for $80 and put that $120,000 towards my retirement? You know what I'm
Or
saying?
do I buy no necklace?
Or do I buy no necklace? Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's the reason why I'm asking. I'm saying this because I don't think the artist should even be thinking about that stuff. The artist should say upfront, "Hey, Uncle Freezy, this is what I want to be, where I want to be in 10 years, and I'm expecting you to have me to be there in 10 years." And then I'm gonna say, like, listen, it's gonna be hard, right? Listen, I know you used to renting Mercedes to go to these things in Charlotte, but we gonna have to rent a Sprinter van, and y'all gonna have to be cooped up in there, 7 deep. You know, can't be, man, I'm 6 foot tall. I can't be cooped up in that. Well, that's just what it is. You got to be disciplined.
As nice as them Sprinter vans are.
Exactly. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. That's what I was, bro. DSA, what I would say is, once you start the entity, that's one of the things that you got to pay for. Pay for that Sprinter van, bro. Just go ahead and buy it. Not buy it, but lease it. Just go ahead and lease it. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, lease that thing. And every 2 years, we gonna 24 months. We just leasing every 24 months. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pay, and the Sprinter van probably gonna be about $1,000 a month. So, and then plus insurance. So you gotta just go ahead and take that thing on the chin, man. Handle it. You know what I'm saying? For you to tour, like getting that Sprinter van. Say the show is in Atlanta. And you can everybody can fly from Fayetteville to Atlanta, or everybody gonna get in that Sprinter van.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just part of it, and the thing about that is the as the artist, you in total control of all of that stuff, because the people back in the office is taking care of all that stuff, right? Like we legit, we're like, yo, True and DSJ like that raspberry seltzer water, and DSJ like those green bullet grapes, the seedless bullet grapes. You know what I'm saying? So when they get in the van, just make sure all that stuff is in there. That man should have no reason to complain about nothing. He the artist. True the artist, right? True might like those honey roasted salted peanuts from a certain thing, right? So just make sure he got a little gift basket in there, man. It ain't gonna cost you nothing but what, $30 to put a little gift basket in the van, so those fellas can at least be a little bit comfortable on that ride to Atlanta.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how you take care of your artists.
Take care of your artists, and then when you go down, when they get to Atlanta, no, we not coming back the same night. You tell them, fellas, do the show. We rented an Airbnb, right? Say it's 7 of y'all, right? So we rent an Airbnb. We can't rent a 7-bedroom. That's ridiculous, right? But what we could do is rent a 4-bedroom Airbnb for about $120 a night, right outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right? Y'all perform. Y'all go to Waffle House, do whatever it is that y'all want to do. We already have you know what I'm saying? The road team is already in Atlanta. They already got the Airbnb set up. When y'all coming in, all y'all got to do is wind down, eat y'all dinner. We probably picked up dinner from somewhere or whatever. Y'all wind down, take y'all showers, and we rolling out in the morning.
Yeah.
Bim.
DS, that sound expensive, right?
Absolutely not.
That sound expensive. You know me, bro. I already know the Airbnb is going to be $140 a night plus tax for a 4-bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. You already know.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
already,
Well versed in Airbnbs.
bro. You know, I'm planning, bro. I'm a cheapskate. I'm not buying 7 hotel rooms in Atlanta. Man, listen, 7 hotel rooms in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're gonna be roach motels, but I gotta pay $88 a piece plus tax for them, and then they're gonna be roach motels. Nah, bro, I'll take that $600. Right, I'll take that $600, cut it in half, get an Airbnb for half that, use the other half on food. We done save 50% of the cost.
Yeah.
Right, put that money, stack that money back in the bank, in the entity account, right, and just make sure that we take care of the artists, right. On the way out, the driver know on the way from Atlanta to Fayetteville that, you know what I'm saying, we gonna stop in Covington and get y'all some breakfast and a per diem. And I ain't trying to be a cheapskate, but the per diem gonna be $9, bro. If y'all spending more than $9 on breakfast, bro, I can't feed you. You got to come out your pocket for the rest.
If you can't spend $9 on breakfast, then clearly the prices of the menu is the problem.
Right?
Y'all at the wrong restaurant.
Yeah, bro. If you can't get you a little bacon, egg, and cheese, a little
That's
orange juice,
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Oh, come on, bro.
I'm trying to tell you.
Come on, bro. So,
but it's like you said, though. It's all about that discipline.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Discipline and consistency.
And DSA, you notice I was mentioning all those prices, right? I mentioned all those the small things, $9, $88 plus tax, and guess who paying for that without a team?
I am
the artist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's where if you perform every weekend, say you perform every weekend for $500, right? Man, 200 of that is going for accommodations off rip.
Off rip.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's why I'm saying, man, I think that's where artists fail at. Like all the unforeseen costs of like studio time, food while you in studio. Yep. Some people like to set the vibe, whatever they do for the vibe, whether they want to get them some wine or some liquor, or whatever it is they do to set the vibe. When they in studio, they got to pay for that. Right? You know, say a song or something needs something outside of what we can supply. Like say if it's a Anthony Hamilton type song, now you got to get the Hamiltons to come in and sing background, right? And not the Hamiltons, but y'all get what I'm saying, like a Hamiltons type of background singers to come in. You know what I'm saying? Because we might not have them on staff, right? And so it's all the little Ribby. You feel me? Like what happens with the artists is they financially they get nickeled and dimed to death to the point where sometimes they have to make. Sometimes it's not even worth it.
I know. You want to quit and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's why I think having a team in place. And the thing is too, and I know it sounds like that the artist desperately needs a team. But let me say it from a team perspective.
You make it on your own.
A team desperately needs an artist. Right? A team infrastructure needs an artist. Right? Like you need a star. right? Like for instance, I own my own business, right? That I'm the star of, right? And I'm not a star, but I have to be that because I don't have nobody else, right? Like when I talk to people about the services that I provide, right? And y'all know I'm in the insurance game. Y'all know I do insurance and all that. So when I show up, immediately people see a 6'5" black dude, you know what I'm saying, like 350 pounds. Immediately they not really thinking like warm and welcoming, but that's because they don't know me yet. But it intimidated a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? If I had like a little cutie pie that can get out, a little 20 something year old woman that can go out and do all the stuff for me, and I handle all the stuff in the office, that'd be ideal. Because I'd have me a little star to go out there and do it for us. Even though we provide as a team, we provide the right type product, the same, quality product, right? So it's like teams, like it seems the way I've been talking is, it seems like the stars need a team, but it's a symbiotic, mutual existing relationship where both sides need each other.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why it works. Because I'll never have the professional or the artistry skills of a true, right? I just won't. I'm not talented like that. That's a unique talent unto one person, right? And there might be others that are as talented or maybe more, but those people are rare, right? Like a DSJ type talents are rare, right? But if you have that business mindset, you went to school, you still got these student loans you paying for, all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to have that so everybody involved can be successful.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So let me ask this for these last few minutes, DSJ. If y'all got a couple minutes, I want to
Yeah.
ask. I want to ask y'all this: why do we often see lesser talented people make it to the top? Like, why am I listening to Genuine, bro?
Ah,
Because he
You
can
enjoy
dance. Like Wacky D told you in his song. And did I tell you before that I could dance?
You
Sometimes,
think
listen,
Genuine talented?
sometimes the movies,
No,
sometimes the movies make a lot of sense.
I think
no.
I think it's because they follow the formula.
Okay,
You know?
okay.
It's like a formula for like, you know, it's like there's like success and then there's success. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And yeah, like I feel like if you can follow that formula in whatever niche you're in, yeah, you're gonna make a couple dollars. You're gonna feel like you're doing good. You know what I mean? It's just the ones I find it more fulfilling to see the people kind of like pave their own way.
I heard that song "So Anxious" the other day. Yo, oh my God, DSJ, what that man has a song called "So Anxious." Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. I just need to hear a duet live, him and Keisha Cole. That's my dream.
Yeah, if you want to see a record time of people leaving the venue, yeah, you do that by all means.
You want to see people ears bleeding. Yo, oh my God, bro.
Genuine dancing real slow and sore looking.
Oh my God,
that that boy knees look worse than mine.
yeah, man. He out here, he terrible, bro. Hey, King Ribby, I need no lie, bro. No lie, I need a Designer and Young Thugger freestyle, bro. Can you get that for me? Can you get that for me? A Young Thugger and a Designer freestyle. I
I
just
don't
need
think he want. I don't think he want to go to them jails to get that.
nah. I need for them to freestyle for 10 minutes like Black Thought did.
Yeah.
It'll be it'll be over the phone like Sean did on the Confessions remix.
Oh, over the
Collect,
phone, yeah.
you got to collect call from.
and it might come with a RICO charge.
It may. It may. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, DSJ, that's all I got, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man. I appreciate rocking with you. Grateful that I was able to get True to jump on and
Oh, definitely.
chop it up with us.
Yeah, I really
And
appreciate you having me on the show, man. I definitely had fun.
Yeah, but so for the record, man, I'm gonna do a try to edit it within the next week or so,
Mhm.
and put it on Instagram so people can check us out, so they can, for those that need those gems dropped for them and to them, so that they can understand the business and understand take certain whatever part of the conversation that they feel like helps them, they can take that part of the conversation and carry it along, and hopefully it'll help them be successful in whatever thing that they trying to do. So, you know,
Amen.
yeah, man, yeah, man. So y'all got anything new going on?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, man. We got a website gonna be dropping in a couple of months. We've got a lot of little goodies that we're gonna be preparing to release here in the next couple of months.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. King Ribby, you got anything coming up in the next few months?
I don't know what it's gonna be called yet, but I'm dropping my first album on my birthday.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
what it's gonna be called yet, but
So when can we expect it though?
well, our birthday is March 10th, so I probably like the 5th. I'll let y'all hear it, but I'm
Okay.
gonna drop it on the 10th. My
Okay.
birthday, on actual.
Oh, on all streaming platforms?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. You gonna have any collabs on it? Any
But
guests? Okay. Okay. I
well,
have nothing. Yeah. So I have some things on the fire, some things DSJ telling me I can't announce until February. So, but outside of that, man, I think I'll be good with some stuff.
not to cut you. I might need you when I hook.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you.
yeah,
I,
no doubt.
yeah. Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you, bro. And for those watching, I'm not an artist. I'm more of an office person, right? I'm the person that you submit the paperwork to and all that stuff. So just the honor of even being thought about being included to me is an honor. So but gents, again, thank y'all for rocking. I know I was in and out on the joint, man. Because I had two things going on at once, but thank you for the dope conversation.
Yeah. Thank
And
you, bro.
yeah, and hey, no, and quick tempered. If you watching, man, get your life together, man, and get up here with us, man, and chop it up with us.
Get them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So thank y'all everybody for rocking with us. I'm sure at some point we'll all reconvene and do it again at some point if the schedules are permissible.
I definitely
Um
love to.
yeah, hey, no doubt, no doubt. Good night, everybody.
All
Peace,
right.
y'all.